Welcome to the Barstool College Football Show presented by Panera. Hashtag Saturdays are for the Mac. Dave, you're wanting to show off your shirt?
No, I just had to make sure the entire thing was on there because I don't want it to be confused.
Why did you have, what's that shirt? I just noticed it.
It's a t-shirt.
LeBron hates Ohio. Got it.
It's very important because you were showing it off before the intro even finished. So would you like to explain it or you just want people to see it?
There's nothing to explain.
Okay.
It's just a t-shirt that I happen to wear today.
Okay, we're going to believe that. Well, what about this mac and cheese? Did you notice how like this
Enormous.
looks?
It's special for us.
It's special?
You can't even get this.
You can't. We have
can
all
probably make it
three.
yourself.
No,
We have the
no
bacon,
chance.
the Baja, the barbecue, all in one. It's like a loaf of bread, and we all have the bulldozers. Dan, you had the bulldozer last week.
Yep.
Game
It's
changer?
the greatest utensil of all time. Better than a spork.
You were on a red eye, so your brain is kind of mush right
No,
now,
I'll be
right?
fine. I'll be fine.
You'll be fine. I'm going to be honest with you. I was going to fat shame you a little bit today, but I
Well, you
decided.
already did.
No, I didn't.
You did before. You're like, oh, they brought this for Dan.
Well, technically, Panera was trying to adjust to your
Everyone
eating
saw that,
habits.
right? Yeah,
That's what
definitely did
Panera
happen.
was like trying to adjust to what you like to eat on the show.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fat shame a fat person. I'm not saying Dan's fat, but there's certain things like Big Ev, hey, Big Ev, you're fat. That's not fat shaming, that's a fact.
Here's my problem. Here's my problem. Kayce can fat shame me all she wants. I actually had no problem with it, but then she can't get upset when I go back at her for class rings and
I didn't get
like
upset.
being like, you said, fuck my dad.
we-
I didn't say fuck my dad. I didn't say fuck your dad.
I
We
feel like
bullied
it,
Kayce out of wearing rings, which I
that's
find
not true.
adorable.
Yeah.
That's just not true.
So if you
Where's
want
your
to
ring?
if you want
I'm
to
not
get in the
wearing it today,
Terror
but it's
Dome,
not
let's
'cause
do
you
it.
bullied
Let's do
me.
it.
No. You, Dan, you
You're
can come
fat.
after me.
Rings are lame.
You can't come after my dad, though. Is that fair?
I didn't. I said the rings are weird.
They
I came
are
after the
weird.
ring.
They are weird. They are weird. But I didn't fat shame you either.
The quote then became, I said, go fuck yourself, Casey's dad, which never came out of my mouth.
Well, I can't believe anything at Barstool might have been spun out of like reality.
That's a wild quote. I don't think I
Okay.
said that.
All
And
right,
if
well,
I did, I don't apologize.
Regardless, the mac and cheese is really good. Tommy, you're sick.
Again, we're just taking false quotes out of everything. It's unbelievable. I just said I'm pre-sick. I feel like I might be getting sick, but I'm taking these multivitamins that are an absolute game changer. If not for them, I'd probably be very sick by now. I always get sick in late November, but these multivitamins are keeping me pre-sick instead of sick.
Nice.
It's just kind of
Those
been.
are the facts,
It's been
Kayce.
a rough week for
This is
all
our
of
last
us.
studio show, too.
This is the last studio show. We're gonna go to Army Navy next
I
week.
cannot wait for Army Navy.
I'm so. Do we have tickets, by the way, on the sideline again?
I don't know, Resnick's like brother-in-law or something
yeah.
like runs Army Navy.
We need to get that again.
It'll be
that
fun.
was awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I've never been. Last week we were on the road, Michigan, Ohio State. Dave, you
won?
had a very good morning at the show. Pretty bad afternoon.
Who won that game?
Ohio did.
Oh. Was it close?
No.
Oh.
But now I'm in a fight. I'll get into it.
Yeah.
Michigan is
Wait, just tell me Ohio State didn't score a record amount of points in the rivalry.
Dan, I've owned this. It was an embarrassing, disgusting performance by the University of Michigan. I said all the players and everybody associated with that program owed every alumni and everybody who went there an apology for embarrassing us on a national scale. I said that.
Urban Meyer's your daddy.
I maintain that. I won't want Urban Meyer to be my
No,
daddy.
he is your daddy
well,
right
no,
now.
because
He
I
can't-
have morals
Listen,
and
you
integrity
think-
and honor and
No,
respect for
Urban
women,
Meyer
and he
owns
doesn't.
you. He
yeah,
owns you.
listen, he
Be an
does.
abusive father.
What?
He'd be an abusive
He's being an
father.
abusive father. He would.
Yeah, he's beating you
Yeah, I'd
bad.
have to go into makeup every day to cover the bruises.
That is so dark. Big Ev is just like smiling huge ear to ear back there. And we do have the clips because it was a roller coaster ride for a little bit. It looked.
Nah,
I mean, you squeezed Big Ev's face.
It was kind of like
You squeezed Big Ev's face.
it was more like the flume at Kennedy Lake Park. It just went straight down.
Well, let's just relive it right now.
So even though Ev went here, I obviously got to get him in. He's all in the Michigan section. We might as well be in Ann Arbor right now.
Just appreciative to be here. Thank you to Dave, but it's going to be a slaughter fest.
If we do that all day, forget about it. You can go home real early.
We'll be all right.
This defense you have is a joke.
Chase Young, Draymond Jones are going to be living in the backfield. Just wait.
Believe motherfucking Harrison. Let's go! Woo! Let's fucking go!
See, if we do that all game, that's going to be a problem for them.
Let's fucking go! Let's go! Let's go! That's all fucking day. All day long. Let's go! The true freshman, Olive. Get that Ohio's defense stinks. You are what you are, and they stink.
There's talent all over the field. We'll make plays. We're going to make plays.
Last game of the season.
Bend but don't break. Stingy. We'll get stingy.
Nice. Let's go! Let's go!
Ohio State, we kind of had a lucky end of the half. We can't get any pressure on the quarterback, and we got to throw because their defense stinks. I don't feel great.
But their defense also stinks. Dwayne Haskins just throwing it all over the field. This first possession in the second half, crucial. Ohio State needs to go down and score. Put this game away right now. Come on! We wanted more! Come on! Over!
That's tough.
That is tough. I mean, and are you seeing Big Ev just back here, just like living in the glory that he is?
I like that.
He's just a fat guy.
Goes like this, yeah.
I have nothing to say except Big Ev's fat, and that Michigan laid an egg, and like I said, now I'm in a debate because I think they owe everybody an apology. You can't. I don't know. If 5-point favorite, Dan, I told you I wasn't convinced Michigan was going to win the game. I was very nervous. I did not think we'd lose by 30.
You were very, very honest that it was going to be a tough game. Anyone who thought Michigan was going to walk in there and win, they haven't done it in, God knows when, 2000 or something? Yeah, 2000. So it's been a long time. The problem is, Dave, you're never going to beat Ohio State as long as Urban Meyer's there. And you're never going to beat Ohio State with Jim Harbaugh running. And I'm a Harbaugh guy. I love Harbaugh. But him running, saying I'm going to throw the whole playbook at him, and he's running slow play action passes and running up the middle and trying to play power football against a spread offense.
It wasn't good. I mean, I did watch highlights of the fourth down play a couple of years ago with Spate as a quarterback.
Spate across the middle. Touchdown! Darbo went down low.
They could have won that game theoretically.
Yeah.
Like before that play, the Ohio
But
State
I'm
guy
saying
ran around.
consistently.
Listen,
Like, you win one eventually.
I'm eating this. I'm eating this. Who's not eating this is the Michigan football team. That's who's not eating. Like this mentality of, hey, we had a great season, what a run, let's go play in the fucking Peach Bowl or the Cheerio Bowl or even the Rose Bowl, which I want no part of. It disgusts me. Like, people, some guy, Khalil, I don't know what his name is.
He's in the NFL.
The guy who
Not Khalil Tate.
The guy I just tweeted with?
Hill.
Yeah.
He's in the NFL, that guy?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think he's on a roster. I don't
Practice squad, that sounds like the attitude of practice squad player. He basically tweets like, we don't owe you nothing. What do the fans and alumni do for the team? Well, they do everything. Like that, without that, there is no team, there's no school. But you gotta just be like, that was embarrassing. Our season, your season is not a success. Anybody on the Michigan football team who's like Shea Patterson, who is like, oh, we're still 10-2, good season. No. That the way you lost and what happened, this season was a total disaster.
And Dave, on top of all that, you can't go all season saying revenge tour. You know what the revenge tour got them? 1-2. 1-2 against their rivals. They lost to Notre Dame, they beat a bad Michigan State team, and then they lost to Ohio State. That's not a revenge tour. So you can't say revenge tour the whole time. Oh, yeah, I guess Penn State was part. But I think it was talking about just their rivals. I guess it was. So it was 2-2 on the revenge tour.
Listen, we didn't lose to Ohio State. That does no justice to what happened in that game. We got annihilated.
Record amount of points.
Annihilated.
In the history. You guys have been playing for 100 years.
If that was me in the locker room, I would be like, I saw one guy say it. I forget his name. He's like, we got devastated. You have to be like, that was embarrassing. I don't know what the hell happened, whether we weren't ready to play, whether we stink, but that just ruined our season, and I'm going to puke for 2 weeks. Not this, 10-2. That's what's making me sick. Yeah. It's embarrassing. You embarrassed me.
Yeah.
Do you think that any Michigan players are going to apologize to you?
Chase Winovich was sort of like, he's like, this is awkward.
Well, he said he wasn't going to apologize for being your friend.
Yeah.
That's not an apology.
I mean, the Big Ten championship game. The Big Ten championship game has been around for 7 years now. Michigan has been to 0.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Michigan's been to 0.
And I said it. I tweeted back at that guy when I realized he did it. if I built something up for Barstool, and on the biggest day of the year for like 2 decades straight, I let down all our fans, I'd be, yo, I'm sorry. Like, I would.
I fucked up.
Yeah, fucked up.
I took him at the local four in Crown Butler. I
Yeah,
fucked
yeah.
up.
Just this.
Not bad. Ryan Gomes was 265 pounds out of high school.
And I'm not getting the fans. We don't know. You do owe us shit. I'm dealing with this fatso over here.
We pay your salaries.
Yeah, but it's like, not at Michigan we don't, but it's I'm dealing with this fat guy in Ohio. Look at my mentions. You don't have to deal with that. I got to deal with this fat guy. He's getting fatter and more
Look how happy he is.
It's hard. It's all hard.
It's the difference between Michigan and Ohio State. Michigan, they accept mediocrity. If we lose to losing to Michigan is just unacceptable at Ohio State. It's just unacceptable. That's what it comes down to.
I have to deal with this fatso.
I mean,
He also said he didn't have the right to get emotional about the game because he didn't grow up in Ohio. Did you hear about that?
I just think it's weird
I
a
mean, we're
little
like the
bit.
same though. He didn't grow up in Michigan. It's like the same thing.
Yeah,
We're kind of
we
similar.
don't. You're doing your people Ohio and this. It's just the whole thing and the way you do things there and the way you hide domestic
you're being a
abuse
sore
and
loser. That's a sore
and just
loser.
no
You're being a
morals
sore
and no
loser.
intent. I've been a great loser.
No, that
I mean, the
part is
only
a
thing
sore
that you can
loser.
say is how
you
he's
don't
fat.
deserve this win.
Like that.
That's a sore loser move.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve it, and then you just keep calling him fat.
You
That's-
said that Michigan is
Is
Wisconsin.
he not fat, Casey?
I'm not fat shaming on this show.
Dave, you
That's not
said
fair.
Michigan is Wisconsin. I'm pretty sure Wisconsin's beaten Ohio State like 2 or 3 times in the last 15 years, and we've only played, I don't know, 10 times.
Michigan is Wisconsin, Northwest.
Except we beat Ohio State.
No, but you
every now and then.
No, but you're not a threat. For the
Yeah, but
national
every now and
championship.
then we do beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
It was a tough weekend. But Big Ev, you've never looked happier.
It was awesome. It was like the best day ever.
How was your night out Saturday?
It was fantastic.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
you chose not to get on the private plane to stay there. That's when you know it's.
I mean, yeah, no, it was. I mean, just regardless of the score. I mean, I was saying to someone yesterday, it was even better just winning by that much than say if we won in like a Hail Mary or something like that. Just putting it on, scoring that many points.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally just our
Are
offensive
you just
line
gonna,
was.
you're just gonna be a yes man now? Is that what you? Yeah.
It's true. I mean, I said it before the game.
way we won.
Hold on. Get Dan a microphone so he can be like.
Stop me when he's wrong though. If you
Jimmy off
put
the self, he's
62,
like, yeah, go.
if you put 62 on your rival, that is the best feeling in the world.
And like you heard about how good this defense is, our line played amazing. Like they didn't touch Dwayne Haskins. He was
Yeah.
sitting back there just throwing it whatever he wanted. It was incredible.
And Big Ev got to go back to his former frat house. He got to dance to Mo Bamba. I mean, he had a
was
great
awesome.
weekend. You can just let him live in it a little bit.
Patriots won.
Okay. Big Ev will bring you back in just a little bit. So it is championship weekend. Michigan will not be in a championship game. I hate to tell you that, Dave.
Casey.
I'm just saying.
Now you're in my crosshairs.
I feel like I'm in your crosshairs all the time, so this is nothing new.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is
that
nothing
was
new.
a cheap shot.
Do you know what
Are they
it is,
not
Dave?
in? Are they in the championship game?
We clearly established that for the last like half an hour
All right,
that we didn't
let's-
need
well,
to
then let-
lead with the next segment with that.
All right. Well, then let's just go into the weekend preview. We won't
I
talk
don't
about
want to talk
Michigan
about
anymore.
Michigan again.
Okay. No more Michigan.
Well, good
Ever.
thing. I mean, we don't have to. 'cause
Unless
they
we're
are
talking
part of the
basketball.
conversation.
Yeah.
By the
I mean,
way,
we're talking about the
hey,
championship
Fat Boy,
games.
what happened last night in college hoops?
Yeah, I did bet on Ohio State.
Ohio State got
Yeah,
trashed. That's
jerk.
what happened. They got curb stomped by Syracuse.
We're trying to-
Syracuse
yeah.
whooped them.
Yeah.
You know what Michigan did? We took North Carolina, a premier program, and flushed them down the toilet.
Yeah.
Basketball's the number one sport in this country anyways.
I actually bet on both of them, so it was tough.
Bet on who?
Ohio State and Michigan.
Yeah.
You're just a great winner,
Yeah.
Dave. Just a great winner. See how many times Dave can
Basketball
say yes.
season.
Money's green.
Okay, let's go into the weekend preview. We do have to look at those championship games. We're going to start in the ACC. Number 2 Clemson versus number 2 Pittsburgh. Clemson is
Versus what?
wait. Number 2 Clemson versus Pittsburgh. Did I say number 2?
Yeah, you call Pittsburgh number 2.
Well, they're definitely not. Number 2 Clemson versus Pittsburgh. Clemson is favored by 27.5. Clemson's looking for that 4th straight trip to the college football playoff, 4th straight ACC title. I don't even know if this game is worth watching at this point because Clemson is so much better than Pittsburgh. Like, this is where the divisions just shouldn't be because this game is just anticlimactic completely.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, every game is worth watching, though, so I'll watch it.
Yeah, but like, it's
Clemson
not
is
going to
win.
be
They're going to cover. They have I think Pitt beat Clemson last year, right?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
And it
So,
was like
yeah,
they were like
there's-
21-point
And
favorites.
I think Clemson has been.
I have no idea what the Pittsburgh.
Every now and then, Clemson, like I think last week, who did they play last week? Clemson played.
South Carolina.
It was
South Carolina.
South Carolina put up 600
Yes.
yards of offense.
So
on it.
that tells me everything. That means Clemson, because Clemson is a team that if they have not even a loss, but just a game that can be perceived as a down game, they will come back and demolish you the next week.
I'm trying to look up.
But they still won by like 30 points,
Yeah,
didn't
Yeah,
they?
but it was. I remember I hit the over on that. Yeah.
And Pittsburgh, I mean, they've been playing decently, but they're not
That's what I
Their
wanna
defense
see.
is not good.
Oh, Pittsburgh's not good. I am curious to see how Pittsburgh's. Where's
They're 6-1 against the spread in the last 7 games.
Pittsburgh?
That's a fun fact. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that's I'm trying to. I
They
wanna
got,
see
they got killed by Miami last week.
That's
I'm taking
tough.
Pittsburgh
Yeah,
to
they
cover.
scored 3 points last week against Miami. That's not a great sign. Beat Wake Forest, beat Virginia Tech, killed Virginia Tech, beat UVA, beat Duke, lost to Notre Dame by 5. I don't know. 27's a shit ton of points.
It's true.
I
I'll
took
take
Pittsburgh
Pitt.
officially.
Okay.
I'll take Pitt, but
Okay.
I mean, I don't love the game.
Yeah, I mean, Clemson's going to be in the college football playoff. I think I'm going to take Clemson just because I think they're going to roll them. But again, like this ACC championship
The
is just not
ACC's
exciting.
been horrible since the ACC. Basically, it was Florida State, and now it's Clemson. They've never had like 2 good. I don't think there's been like a good ACC championship since like the Big East defected to the ACC.
Yeah, and it's going to continue on Saturday. Then we won't talk about Michigan here. We are going to go to the Big Ten championship. Number 21 Northwestern versus number 6 Ohio State. Ohio State favored by 2 touchdowns. The winner's going to the Rose Bowl unless they get into the college football playoff.
Correct.
So the question is Ohio State the team that we saw get shellacked by Purdue, or are they the team that killed Michigan?
I thought we weren't.
I mean, it's a legitimate question.
well,
Who's the real Ohio State?
Yeah, I would say
These two.
what?
I said these two.
Well, I mean, she just like I'm not going to talk about Michigan.
I mean, you have to talk about them.
Instantly talked about it.
You have to.
Is Ohio the team that we saw last week?
Or they've been very inconsistent
That's how you phrase
all
it.
week. Okay. Last week versus.
I would say Northwestern's going to give them a problem in this game. I really believe that. I think they shot the load last week, Ohio, and I think Northwestern is going to be pesky. I love Pat Fitzgerald as a coach. I love him. I think he'll have the boys ready to play. I don't know that they win the game, but I think everyone's going to reverse. I think that team up north, you can say it that way, they didn't show up. Northwestern will show up. I think this game's going to be closer than people think.
So I like Northwestern. I think they are a scrappy team. I think Pat Fitzgerald is a very good coach. Great year for them, especially they lost to Akron at home, which people like. That was a
Early,
of the
right?
season, yeah. But this is an Ohio State game where they're on the outside looking in.
So they're going to Wisconsin them?
They need to go crazy. Yes, they need to go 59-0. Northwestern might even, if you want to really Wisconsin them, then that's actually just a backroom deal to let Ohio State win by a lot to get the Big Ten into the tournament. The Big Ten has not been in the college football playoff last year. This year would be make 2 years in a row. That's a problem. I think there'll be some funny business. I think Ohio State's going to win.
The
by
only thing
60.
is, here's how you defeat Ohio. You throw the ball and do big plays. Like Ohio would not be able to stop Oklahoma if they played not once because of mobile quarterback run around. They can't do that. They don't know how to stop that. Northwestern, unfortunately, looks a lot like that team up north, the way they run their offense.
I'm taking Ohio State. Ohio State doesn't have to win. They have to kill
them.
They have
Correct.
to kill them. So I think
I don't
they'll
know
come
that that's
out.
true, though, because I think
Yeah.
there's a decent chance Texas beats Oklahoma.
Right,
Well,
but
right,
even
but-
if
But then
okay,
you have
so
to hope that Georgia,
Yeah.
like,
Well,
you
there's
know,
a lot
there's a lot that goes into
between
it.
There is a lot of scenarios
Texas
for this
Oklahoma's at
weekend.
noon.
Okay.
Ohio
So
State.
Ohio
So
State
they'll
will
know.
know.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you make your bet wisely on this. I actually have Ohio State as my mortal lock, but I was going to put the disclaimer, see what happens at the beginning of the day.
Yeah, and to be honest, there's a lot of scenarios that could play out.
But if Texas and Oklahoma play to like a 3-point game, like a really crappy game, 3-point game, Oklahoma doesn't look, great. I think Ohio State will put up 70 on Northwestern.
And you're
So
going
I'm
to take.
taking Ohio
I'm going to
State.
take Ohio State as well too. And I like Dwayne Haskins, Big Eb. I'm a Dwayne Haskins fan. I've been all season, so just mark that down.
Been disrespected all year.
I know.
It's amazing that he's not a Walter Camp finalist.
Agreed.
Yeah.
He has the most touchdown passes in all of the nation by 5 touchdowns
He has been
and second in
disrespected.
passing yards. How does that not make you a finalist for Player of the Year?
Disrespected. I don't like using that word in Ohio because of the way they disrespect women.
Dwayne
Back to
Haskins is
that.
a nice guy. He wouldn't do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, the program stinks.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with Ohio
Morally,
State as
not
well.
on the field. They're okay on the field.
We're going to get to that Big 12 championship in just a second, but first we're going to go to concussion protocol with Roan at Rutgers.
Sometimes your football team freaking stinks. You get yourself all worked up before the season thinking there might be some hope, but then the action starts and your worst dreams come true. A slice of plain, please. The team freaking stinks.
Well, it has been a miserable season for Rutgers football.
The Big Ten slate has not been kind to the Rutgers football team, who has just one conference win. The challenging season both on and off the football field came to an end today for the Rutgers football team. With no bowl game in their future, the Scarlet Knights were just trying to go out on a high note.
The past few years of Scarlet Knights football has been tough to watch, yet Rutgers fans still make it out to fill the seats. Well, most of the seats. With the team floundering, maybe it's time the school rallies behind something else. Or rather, someone else. A guy and his helmet.
My name is Brian. I am Rutgers helmet guy. I was caught in a moment of weakness and commercialism when I decided to buy a helmet on the walk to the stadium, and it was caught on camera. And then it went its own way.
So what was it that gave Rutgers helmet guy so much passion? How did he have so much extra fire in his belly? Well, he and I had to break bread to see what was really going on. How's it going, man?
How's it going? Brian, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Brian.
Oh, you brought gifts. Oh, delicious.
So why don't you say your name and who you are? When you're
Still with the bread.
yeah, when you're done. You wanna spit it out?
Oh, thanks.
If you could talk to the team, what would you say to those guys?
I would have to say, just, sometimes it doesn't go your way. Sometimes the other team wins. The better team wins sometimes.
That's what you tell your team, that sometimes that they've been losing for a good reason because they're just not the better team? So you buy a helmet. You rise to fame with this helmet by your side, just riding side saddle with you as you escalate towards the sun. And then you get a new helmet. Tell me about the new helmet.
It's currently the one I'm wearing now, but I wasn't gonna leave this one out.
So this
what
is
got
the
me here.
original right here.
That's the original.
Do you mind if I hold it?
Go ahead. A little bit lighter.
Really works well.
Speaks to you, you might hear it.
Oh my God. Wow, this helmet's been through a lot. So why would they give you a new one?
Don't know. I think they reached out and they said, we want to do something with this. They want to get something going. I obliged. Come to last Saturday against Penn State, I had a helmet and a jersey. I tossed a jersey.
Are you worried that there's something behind these kind acts from the university? Is there a chance that they're trying to silence the old helmet and give you some kind of propaganda new helmet? Keep you happy as a consumer while they get to hide their secrets from the past?
Everyone has secrets.
God damn, he finally said something interesting. I knew I had to sit down with that helmet. After weeks of waiting, I had given up hope, but then the phone rang. It was the helmet.
Hello?
And he said he wanted to talk. I appreciate you sitting down with us, especially with everything that's been going on. If it's not too much, would you mind just saying your name and telling us where you're from?
I'm Jim Hathaway from Piscataway, New Jersey.
All right, let's talk. Think back to the first time you got put on. What were things like for you?
At first I was nervous. I'm not even supposed to be worn, you know? I'm a replica for God's sake. But I gotta admit, after a little while, it was magical. Me and Brian, helmet guy, we was a team, you know? I was a lone ranger. He was my trusty steed. I'd ride with him into battle, to rally the troops, the fans, you know? But that's what he was. Just a guy with 2 legs, a couple of arms, and a big sweaty head.
So, would you say that you weren't getting the credit that you deserved?
No, not one bit, that cock rat.
From what you told me on the phone, your relationship with Rutgers helmet guy wasn't what he said it was.
No, he's a liar. He wore me like a condom, that drunk, stupid, cockroaching little bastard.
Did you find yourself acting out when the new helmet was around?
Of course.
What did that look like? How low did things get for you at their lowest?
On the bad days, it was standard. Slam me into a helmet I was raised with. Scar us both. On the worst days, it was torture. Throw me into a wood chipper. Stab me with a heroin needle.
Heroin?
Even pies. He'd call me all these nasty names like fartaholic, no legs, schmegma.
Schmegma?
It was abuse. It was full-on abuse. I'm sorry.
I understand. It's okay. It's okay.
I don't know what's getting into me.
It's okay. The helmet had sacrificed a ton, but no one seemed to care. So the lesson we learned was this. Next time you recklessly throw your head at the patellar tendon of some poor tight end, remember that there's a helmet in between there too. A helmet with feelings.
All right, that was Concussion Protocol with Roan. Why is Rutgers so bad at football, fellas?
Yeah, we were talking. Well, makes no sense. I don't know how they're bad at everything because it is a talent state and area, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. It's in a big conference, big school, like party school. I don't know. I have no answers for why Rutgers has been as bad for as long as they've been bad. They had the Greg Schiano run there, and the place was electric.
Gandolfini night.
Yeah, it was electric.
It's you. I can't believe it. I'm a huge fan. This season is going to be great. Everybody's talking about it. And what a great bunch of guys. You got that whole Jersey thing going. It's unbelievable. My kids love you guys. It's a program the whole family can get behind. So, is it too much to ask? Can I get an autograph, Coach Schiano?
I can't take you anywhere.
Marco Battaglia, I don't get it. I don't get why that program can't turn around. If I was like a coach from the MAC or something, it's like, here's a program I can make a mark and turn around. I would think Rutgers would be it.
It sucks that they're in the East. That's an uphill battle in the Big Ten East. Because they do have to play Michigan State and Ohio State and Michigan, which actually Rutgers has beaten Michigan in Piscataway.
So bad.
That has happened.
They're so bad. I mean, they lost by 50 to Buffalo.
I mean, I have not let them into the Big Ten yet, so I guess that's probably hurting recruiting right there.
It is.
Do you like the helmet guy?
Yeah.
I mean, that was sad to me, watching that. Like,
Rutgers is sad.
It's very sad.
Sad place.
Very sad place. All right, let's go to the top 2 games of the week presented by Bud Light. Game day's favorite light lager. We've got the big one in the Big 12. We've been talking about a little bit. Number 14, Texas versus number 5, Oklahoma. Oklahoma favored by 8. Like, no secret here. This is a rematch from earlier in the year when Texas upset Oklahoma. And OU's talking about revenge. Kyler Murray hates Sam Ehlinger. He's talking shit about him during the week. I think this is going to be a really fun game. Dan, I know you're going to like this, though. You're going to get penalized if you do a horns down if you're a Sooners fan. How do you feel about that?
What do you mean?
The Big 12 is going to penalize the Sooners if they do
But then
horns
they
down.
can do horns up?
Yeah.
Wait,
that's the dumbest thing I've
No.
ever heard.
Yes.
But yes, this is the most.
No, the players.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's still stupid.
And I know Dan went on a whole rant about
You can't do
Tom
horns
Herman.
up and if you can do horns down, you can do horns up.
No, but this is the most overblown story ever.
The Big 12 is now regulating opposing teams from doing horns down.
Bullshit.
That's bullshit.
But horns down, it's always been that's taunting. In college football.
But horns up should be taunting then.
No, but horns up is like they're celebrating.
If you can do horns up, you should be able to do horns down. That's how it should work.
I think you should be able to do horns down at all times. You live by the horns up, you die by the horns. But someone asked the question, will you be penalized? It's always been taunted.
The fact that the Big 12 is now regulating it is ridiculous.
That's always been taunted.
They're talking about they can't do it at all. No players can do it, or they're going to get penalized.
A guy scores a touchdown and he just goes horns down right after. That should not be taunting.
But that's what West Virginia got penalized for. That's always been a penalty. It's taunting.
Tom Herman was crying though.
But it's always. But before he cried, they called penalty in West Virginia.
But now they're saying, but you could still do it on the field. Players could still do it. You can see it in games forever.
If you get caught horns downing in a game versus Texas, that is taunting.
That is not true.
A flag. Yeah,
that has happened for years.
Yeah, and it's a flag.
Not every time. No, it's not.
Well,
now they're saying it's going to happen for sure.
So can they do horns up?
Yes.
That's still
Tommy, where were you for the beginning of this conversation?
No, you're full sick if you don't remember everything we just said.
I'm saying, can Oklahoma do horns up? Is what I meant. That still could. If they score a touchdown, they do horns up. That's sort of taunting, but that's legal. You know what I mean? If they
Maybe go
steal
like
it.
this.
That's an interesting
No, if they
point.
just steal.
They go like this.
No, not even that. They just do horns up. Like, that's clearly taunting.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Subtle
It's,
taunting.
the fact that the commissioner is getting involved with it is ridiculous.
But he got asked.
And now it's a rule.
But it's like,
It's soft, Dave.
it's taunting. I agree with you, but I'm just saying nothing's changed.
It
They
has.
asked the commissioner, like, will you get a penalty for horns down? It's like, yes. You always get a penalty for horns
Either
down.
way, Dave, this game is important to you because you have been the #1 Oklahoma
It's very
truther
true.
in the country, and you've been right, but you can't be
not
right if Oklahoma then goes to the college football playoff.
Where you're wrong, Dan, is I don't care about college football anymore.
Okay, there you go.
There's that spin
That's
zone.
smart.
So I don't give a shit.
That's a fair answer.
So you just
That's a
don't
fair
care. So if
answer.
Oklahoma makes it in the college football playoff, you won't apologize to me for telling me that.
Big
Big
whoop.
whoop.
Big whoop.
But this is going to be a fun game to watch, no?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, so did you see what Kyler Murray said this week about Sam Ehlinger? Did you guys see that?
Well, I heard he didn't like him based on what you said.
I think we have. Well, they got like into it, I guess, after the Red River rivalry, and Sam Ehlinger basically was like trying to congratulate him, and Kyler Murray told him to get the fuck out of his face.
I like that.
So now there's like.
you mean after Texas beat Oklahoma, he's trying to congratulate him?
So
I'd be
Sam,
like, get the fuck out
Sam
of here, too. I
Ehlinger
didn't want
went.
to like
yeah,
That's a Liz Gonzalez move.
he went.
What?
She did that to me after the Packers beat the Bears. And she's like, good job, your team looks great this year.
Yeah,
She was
and,
right.
Yeah, they do. That's true. That's true. Good point.
and Kyler didn't like that. I guess he said to get the fuck out of his face. Sam Ehlinger said, "Well, then take that L, bitch." So they've just had all these like back
I like
and forth.
that. Take that L, bitch.
Yeah. So this week, Kyler Murray was asked about what he thinks about Sam Ehlinger, and this is what happened.
How much do you respect Sam's game?
I have no comment on that.
So now it's just become a whole
No
thing.
comment on
no
that?
comment on.
I
He's
mean,
like,
Kyler Murray has every right to do this. He is
Yeah.
10 times the quarterback that Sam Ehlinger is.
This will be a very good game, I think.
yeah.
I'm taking the points.
You're going to take Oklahoma.
What's the total? Like 85?
No, it's 77.
77.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
low. I'll take Texas in the over.
I'm
Thank
taking
you very
the over.
much.
Yeah, I'm taking the over. I don't know about. I can see Oklahoma blowing them out. I feel like Texas. I don't know.
Defense is so bad.
I know.
But Texas defense isn't good either.
But
I
Texas.
mean, that game against West Virginia,
But Dave,
if the guy doesn't
Oklahoma-
block the guy out of bounds, it's a totally different.
Right.
It's good. It's good. It's good. I guess at this point he's just got to let go.
Well, he does continue to drive him over by the bench.
Which there is no need for that, and that eliminates a huge play. And that started out as a tremendous block by T.J. Simmons.
But they
it's
still
just,
won.
The problem is, as bad as
Thank you,
Oklahoma's.
Casey.
They still won.
As
Thank
bad,
newsflash from Casey.
They still won.
Oklahoma still won. Thank you.
They still have not lost a game. Like you
As
said,
bad
though.
as Oklahoma has been on defense, that's how consistently unbelievable
their
they've
offense
been
is
on
great.
offense. So, if you had to put a gun to your head and said, can Texas score 45 points? Because that's what they're going to have to do.
I'd say yes.
Okay. Well, I'll take the over.
I'm taking the over in Oklahoma.
Texas. I'm going to take the under, just because everyone else is
you're a
on the
jerk.
over.
Don't
It's
do
lower
that.
than
I learned my
everyone
lesson
thinks.
last
real
week.
jerk
Don't do
move.
that.
That's a jerk move.
It's going with what makes you uncomfortable.
What you did was
Texas
a
and the
jerk
under.
move. It's a jerk move.
You're taking
No.
Texas,
And the under.
and Dan, you're taking Oklahoma.
No, I'm taking the over.
Okay, so the fun fact of this is the last 5 games between these two have been decided by 7 points or less. So taking Texas is probably the smart move, but I'm going to take Oklahoma just because even though you don't care about college football anymore, Dave, if Oklahoma makes it to the college football playoff,
sport. The guys who are the best get paid. I don't know why we care about amateurs.
it's such a spin zone. Such a spin zone.
How
but-
so?
Because last week you were like,
Who do you think Patriots would beat Ohio?
yes.
Well,
you.
if you put Michigan helmets on the Patriots, probably not.
I already said I want the wings off the helmets.
Yeah.
I'm taking the wings off the helmets till they win.
If you put those
navy blue and
Michigan
yellow.
uniforms on the best team of all time, I think Ohio
Well, our
State would kick
quarterback's
their
a
ass.
Michigan guy back when I was in school, and when it mattered to be from Michigan.
I thought we weren't supposed to talk about Michigan anymore.
Well, I'm taking the wings off the helmets. That's what I'd do.
All right, let's go to the big game of the weekend, the SEC Championship, again presented by Bud Light. We've got number 1 Alabama versus number 4 Georgia. This one, before Michigan lost, this one had, what? I'm bringing it up because it's important. It's important.
Not really.
Yeah,
This
for the college
game.
football playoff. Yes,
I
it
mean,
is.
it's kind of a
Yes,
stretch.
it is.
It's
Okay.
really not.
It is,
the
because-
SEC
No,
championship.
Not at all.
Why?
Not
It
at
does
all.
matter.
What?
Because if Michigan would have won, then if Georgia lost, they wouldn't be in the college football playoff. If Alabama lost.
If Georgia lost? No shit,
I mean,
Casey.
if Alabama lost, there would have been a conversation about who should be in that 4th spot, Michigan or Alabama.
Make it
It's
all
true.
about Michigan. I know
It's
what
true,
you're doing.
though.
I know what
It's
you're doing.
true. Okay,
I know what you're
well,
doing.
This is the rematch from last year's national championship. Of course, Georgia's been pissed all year. They've talked about the unfinished business.
I mean, well, I'm going to keep it 100% honest. I didn't come back, this year to not be here. So, I mean, this was expected of me. I worked for this. I mean, I think everybody on the team worked for this. I think anybody that came back and didn't go on to the next level that didn't have to really expected this to be another season. And, we had unfinished business, and we intend to go ahead and handle that.
You've got Tua, you've got Jake Fromm playing really well. Alabama is favored by 13.5, and I think that's a massive line for this game, but I like Alabama in it.
More to lock of the week, Georgia.
Whoa.
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 I'm wearing some mac and cheese, too. Georgia, this game goes down to the wire. Georgia can beat this game. I get the spread. I understand the spread. Georgia may win this game. Mark my words, Georgia may win this game.
This is my national championship. I think whoever wins this will win the national championship. I think these are two most talented
You
teams
think
in the
Georgia
country.
will beat Clemson if Georgia beats Alabama?
Clemson you can't disrespect. Clemson's the most disrespected team in the country because everyone just blows them off, even though they played 3 times their value. They beat them once, could have beat them all 3, really.
If Alabama wins this game, though, or loses this game, they're in it either way. College football playoff. That's why I'm saying, because the other conference games don't mean as much now.
Depends how they lose.
Well, yeah, if they get blown out, but they're not going to get their.
Well, I said that last week.
That's fair. Alabama's a different football team.
It will be tough. I don't know if. Yeah, I do. I mean, if Alabama loses, I think maybe Oklahoma, if they win convincingly against Texas, they could possibly jump in.
Over
Either way,
Alabama?
Yeah.
See, that's why I don't see a scenario where Alabama can be left out unless they lose.
think Alabama,
if they got blown out, they definitely could be left out.
If they got blown out.
Yeah. If they got blown out and Tua gets hurt, gets hurt like every other game.
That's true. I think Alabama could lose. I think to get in, I think it's garbage that they get in. You can't keep out 2 conference champions for a second place team. You cannot.
Even though they lost to Georgia in the conference championship?
No, Dave, you can't. I would understand Oklahoma. You can keep out Ohio State because they lost to Purdue. And that's inexcusable. You can't lose to Purdue and have Purdue hang, 49 on you or something?
Well, it goes back to the whole thing.
That doesn't work.
It invalidates, I don't know. Conference champions should all regard, I know you got to advance the thing to 8, but every conference championship should be an automatic bid. I know it's not.
But if you look at those teams, you think Ohio State, if they win the Big Ten and Alabama loses the SEC championship, Ohio State's a better football team?
No.
Well, then that's the whole point of the college football playoff.
Well, no, not in my mind it isn't. It's like you can't, I don't like, you can only control what's in front of you. If you win your conference, you should be in. That's how I feel. I'm going to change it.
I'm going to take Alabama in this game. I think they're. I made a promise to myself after walking out of Baton Rouge, Death Valley, when Alabama went down there and kicked the shit out of LSU. I said, we're going to look back and say, I cannot believe that the 2018 Alabama Crimson Tide were only a 13-point favorite. And here they are, 13-point favorite again. I will not miss this opportunity.
Georgia's far superior to LSU.
That's fine. I mean, actually, they proved it on the field. LSU kicked the shit out of Georgia.
Yeah, but that.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just point counterpoint.
They weren't playing well, and that was in the swamp. Totally different.
Dave was wrong about the SEC East all year. Tommy, what are you taking?
I had Georgia as my lock of the week.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to take Alabama as well. And then, of course, the big story, too, with Tua is the Heisman Trophy race. Kyler Murray making a point. If you guys had to pick right now before this weekend, who are you taking for the Heisman?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
Really?
Yeah.
Really. I'm taking Tua.
That's because you're smart, Tommy.
The Heisman is narrative.
First of all, I hate the Heisman. I think this is the most over.
It's narrative.
Stupid. I hate it. But Oklahoma without Kyler Murray is terrible. With Alabama,
Jalen Hurts, they probably are undefeated.
Yeah, they're undefeated without him.
But don't you think that if you win a national title or you're playing for a national title and you had the numbers that he had without playing in the second half most of the year?
Kyler Murray could be playing for
But I mean, Tua didn't play in the second half till October.
But
those numbers would have been insane.
If you take away Kyler Murray's fourth quarter numbers, because everyone says the Tua didn't play in the fourth quarter, Kyler Murray still has better numbers.
I mean, I like Kyler Murray, but I think Tua is.
But that throws out the fourth quarter argument. They're both unbelievable talents. What happens with the Heisman Trophy is that if you have the narrative, if you get it set in September, it's just, you can just roll. And Kyler Murray, I think, has been the most electric player in college football. This is a very close race, so it's not like Kyler Murray is worlds better. I'm not saying that. I just think what Dave said as well, Kyler Murray is the difference maker when it comes to Oklahoma.
I also used to be a big Heisman guy, and I don't know whether I'm just getting older or the things have changed. It just doesn't matter.
Do you know what it was? You know what it was? It was when there was that string, and it was like 5 guys that all of them sucked in the NFL. It was like Eric Crouch,
Danny
Werfel, Eric Crouch, Ron Dane. Unfortunately, there was a bunch of guys. Who was the guy who won it from? Oh, Troy Smith when he won it, and then he didn't become anything. It's like this doesn't really mean anything.
Tim Tebow. Tebow is probably one of those guys too.
Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
There's a name I could say. I'm not going to say.
You can say it.
Nope.
Okay. Well, we all know who you're talking about.
I like him, so I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
Famous ones.
No.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I like him.
The boat?
No. He didn't win a Heisman.
Who are you talking about?
Casey likes him too.
Johnny Football.
Oh, Manziel.
Didn't pan out in the NFL. But still could.
Well, he never got shot. So.
Yeah, and he still could. He still could. So actually, we'll
comeback
keep that
season.
one as unfinished business.
All right, that's fair. Well, we'll see. I'm really hoping that Oklahoma makes it in so we can see a Tua versus Kyler game, even though I think that Alabama would destroy them because of that defense in Oklahoma, but we will see. All right, it's time for Cheesy Moments of the Week, again presented by Panera. It's hashtag Saturdays with their Mac. While we're eating this mac and cheese up here, we've got a lot of funny moments from last week, including a Clemson football player. Did you guys see him just complete eating shit? Yes, down the hill.
That's always an accident waiting to happen.
That's tough.
I mean, I'm surprised that doesn't happen a lot more, to be honest.
Someone's going to blow their ACL out.
What do you do in that moment? Do you just get right back up, or do you milk it for a second?
No, you get up.
Yeah, you
that's
get
human.
up.
That's like survival instinct.
Unless you're actually hurt.
No, you got to get up, even if you're hurt. You got to get up in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
It is surprising. The first time I saw this, I thought it was Dabo falling. That's what I thought would happen. Like, that would be, it's actually surprising that hasn't happened.
He'd do it and just go viral and then get like 6 5-star recruits out of it.
Yeah.
Fucking Dabo.
He's mad this week, too. He was saying that he thinks he needs to go somewhere else if people are mad about being 12-0. Did you see that?
People are mad about him.
He went on like a whole rant about how people aren't happy with 12-0, then he needs to go coach somewhere else.
Who's not mad? Who's mad
I have
with
no
12-0?
idea.
This is what they do. This is what
this
is a junior Saban move. When college playoff selection comes around, the guys who are savvy and know what they're doing, Urban does the same thing. They just start doing press conferences where they get really mad at no one and straw men to make their case.
Yeah.
So he's basically making a case to be
what's
like,
even?
I should be not the 1 seed or the 2 seed. I don't know what it is, but he's just making a case. I think it's just natural reaction, like, oh, it's this time of year. I got to just start making cases against like boogeymen and
Just
people in the
outlandish
shadows.
shit. Yeah, outlandish shit. The next one we had, after the A&M LSU game, that epic 7 overtime game, there was a fight that was between an A&M maybe staffer. I think it's come out that it's Jimbo's nephew against Falk, and it came down to the fact that there was something with Parkinson's involved. And Dave, you had a thought on if you were going to fight somebody with Parkinson's.
Yeah, it's been twisted a little bit. I'm not a fighter, but I said if I was forced to fight, I would go after. If there's like a melee and it's like, oh, look at that pussy, Dave's not fighting anybody, so I got to fight somebody. So if I knew somebody had Parkinson's, that's who I'd go after.
What about like Muhammad Ali, like circa 1992?
I'd avoid him.
Yeah. So there are parts where it probably.
I didn't mean that. It's like I'm not a fighter.
No,
so,
I know, but
and
this,
you didn't know he had Parkinson's, but if I'm like, oh, this guy has Parkinson's, I'll tangle with him.
This whole situation was blown out of proportion. I think everybody was talking about it all week, and the fact that A&M fans didn't think it happened, LSU fans were like blaming A&M fans for being pieces of shit. But at the end of the day, it was just an on-field fight.
Wait, how is this blown out of proportion when Jimbo Fisher's nephew is getting into fights with LSU staff members?
Because now there's a video apparently that has come out that shows where like he didn't punch him at all. Like the guy ran after him. Like it was like a shove. The guy like ran after him.
It was a melee. It was a melee. I like Kevin Falk. He's my guy. Fuck you. Like we used to sell that shirt when he played for the Patriots. It's a play on the word fuck you, but it said fuck you.
Either way, I'm just going to guess that Jimbo Fisher's nephew is probably a douchebag and he probably if he's trying to fight someone who's actually has a job on the other side.
It wasn't
Jimbo's got a job. Nephew has a job, no? He was credentialed just because he's on the field with Jimbo. I thought he had a job. I thought he was like in the recruiting department or something.
I think I don't know. It wasn't a great look, but the best look of that entire game was Coach O getting a Gatorade bath before the end of the the Dan, what did you think about that?
Yeah, he looked good. He looked strong. He could win any wet T-shirt contest.
No, he did.
I'd be judging. Yeah.
And he was running like wind sprints the entire game.
Yeah, trying to dry himself off, air dry himself off.
Like at one point when he was like running down to the end zone, it was like he was walking back smiling. Like he was just like, "What the fuck are we doing here playing 7 overtimes?"
A wet dog.
All gas, no brakes. He couldn't slow down. He'd call the timeout and run for another 15 yards.
Is he the biggest football guy in college football coaching, Dan?
Yeah, I mean Harbaugh was up there, but we know how that's gone. Not to bring up
Michigan.
Mike Leach is different. Mike Leach is more like a beautiful mind. Russell Crowe.
Charles is watching.
God, I don't know what's going on in Mike Leach's brain at any moment.
What about the guy? There was a guy earlier who his team lost like 49-7. I forgot who he coached. They scored first. And he
Oh, the
was
guy who
pump
hurt
fisting.
himself?
He
Yeah,
tore
that was strength and conditioning coaches don't really count because they all.
No, that was the head coach.
Oh, no, I'm pretty sure it was strength.
No,
Yeah, that was
the
Sean
head
Elliott.
coach.
That was
Oh,
Sean
okay.
Elliott.
So he's up there too.
He tore his
Sean
bicep,
Elliott,
yeah.
When-
Fist pumping, yeah.
Yeah, whenever Steve Spurrier was, like when he decided to leave, Sean Elliott was the head coach at South Carolina for a little bit, and I covered some of those games. He's a crazy person.
Yeah, well,
like
I mean,
that
if
wasn't
you're
like
gonna-
for show. It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
he's
no,
nuts.
He tore his bicep, pump fisting a 7-0 lead. They lost, I think, 49-7.
And then the Clemson D lineman, they got flagged for the Heisman pose. That's something.
See, that's like the horns. That's what they do.
So you mean we should just erase Desmond Howard from history?
Me?
I love that.
It's an iconic moment. You should be able to do that.
Wait, time out. I agree. You should be able to do all of this stuff. I'm just saying, like, they always throw flags. So it's.
There's never been. We don't need to go back into this, but there's never been like a commissioner that's come out and been like, "This is the only school we're protecting," because like Lubbock had.
You have so much jealousy. Did you not get into Texas?
I did get into Texas.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I'd like to see that letter.
Okay. I don't know if I can find it. I'm
Oh,
old.
how convenient.
I'm sure my mom
I'm sure
and dad
we could
have it somewhere.
We could send an email to the Board of Regents and see if.
I don't understand how this is like you don't think this is a weird thing that the Big 12 is now banning this.
All I'm saying is
like,
the Big 12 commissioner didn't come out and be like, hey, newsflash, we're now banning it. Someone specifically asked, like, will you get a penalty for doing horns down? He's like, yes, you always get that. That's all I'm saying.
So you think that all of like the Heisman poses and all that should be penalized?
Tom, have I said that?
Dave.
Have I said that? No, I love
He's pretty
it.
sick. He's
What?
not listening.
What?
He wasn't listening. Too bad. I'll answer. I haven't said that. I love the Heisman. I love the horns down. I don't think any of it should be penalties. But they always call that in college football. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you can't celebrate it all in college football. It's true.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah, it's
still a soft
stupid.
move.
It's stupid.
All right, well, we're going to just leave that in the past. We're going to go to Panera Locks of the Week. I know we've already kind of gone through them, but again, presented by Panera, hashtag Saturdays with the Mac. Send us your Panera mac and cheese with that hashtag, and you'll get one of these great bulldozers, which is like a spork on steroids, basically. So you'll get one of those. You'll get a T-shirt. So thanks to Panera for that. Make sure you're sending us those on Twitter. We don't care if they're fake pictures or not. Just hashtag Saturdays with the Mac. Let's just go back through what those picks are. So, Dave, I know you've already given yours, but
Georgia, I think Georgia, I may, well, if I'm turned back on, I may sprinkle some money line too.
Ooh, you gonna do it? You gonna sprinkle it?
If I'm turned back on.
Ohio State with the disclaimer. Watch the beginning. The games at the beginning of the day. If Oklahoma demolishes Texas, maybe go half a unit on Ohio
I
State.
can't wait to hear that scumbag Urban Meyer plead his case.
Oh, it's gonna be. I mean.
he didn't have any headaches last week either.
This is the most clear that the college football playoff has ever been. And anyone who's like, well, Georgia, it's not fair that they're playing Alabama at the last game. No, Georgia's already in the playoff. The playoffs start Saturday for Georgia.
Yep.
That's it.
Got to beat them one way or the
Gotta
other.
beat them one way or the other.
But Urban is.
Oh,
If
Dave,
Alabama
his case
loses,
it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good.
if Alabama loses, you think Urban is going to try to make a case that Ohio State should
He's
win
gonna
over
have
Alabama?
are you kidding me? He's gonna have advanced stats about how Purdue is the most underrated team in the country. How the new facility that they built in West Lafayette. It's a really hard place to play.
gonna have
That
everything.
big drum. Maryland beat Texas.
Aaron
Texas beat
Hernandez killed,
Oklahoma.
like, 7
We might
guys.
almost lost to Maryland, but we beat Maryland, so Oklahoma doesn't get it. It's going to be like the Always Sunny, Pepe Sylvia. He's going to be all over the place.
Now let's talk about the mail. Can we talk about the mail, please, Mac? I'm dying to talk about the mail with you all day, okay? Pepe Sylvia. This name keeps coming up over and over again. Every day, Pepe's mail's getting sent back to me. Pepe Sylvia, Pepe Sylvia. I look in the mail. Well, this whole box is Pepe Sylvia. So I say to myself, I gotta find this guy. I gotta go up to his office. I gotta put his mail in the guy's goddamn hands. Otherwise, he's never gonna get it. It's gonna keep coming back down here. So I go up to Pepe's office, and what do I find out, Mac? What do I find out? There is no Pepe Sylvia.
And at the end, it's just going to be like,
It's
my
gonna,
heart. Put me in.
It's going to be a big time war with me too. Like,
these kids play so hard every year.
not right.
And it's
It's
not right. The
unfair.
conference champion should be in.
If they lose to Northwestern, is he going to be sick again?
Oh, he'll tie.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That's just each week. It just depends on what it is. All right, Tommy, who you got?
I took Georgia already. Two best teams in the country, in my opinion. I think it stays close.
Oh, so you really don't think Clemson's very good?
I think they're the third best team in the country.
Okay.
I think that would make them very good.
But it sounds like there's a big gap.
I just like Georgia.
You're an
I
SEC.
just like Georgia.
You
I'm
are
an
carrying
SEC
the water
homer.
for the SEC.
Yeah, I'm a
The SEC
homer.
bias.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm taking the Texas OU over because I took the under last week, which it wasn't my fault. They went 7 overtimes, but at A&M LSU, the over.
It was over though before the
I know.
overtime.
I know. I regret it. I actually went back.
That's a nice. I like what you did there though.
I tried.
Just be
I
like,
tried.
hey, it's not my fault.
It's not
7
my fault.
overtimes.
It was just the most points ever scored in FBS. That's not my fault. But I do think, the OU Texas total right now is 78. That's gonna.
I like that over.
Where's the game played? Jerry World?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Remember
it's a
they used
fast track.
to. Remember they used to play. That is fast track. Remember they used to play at
Georgia,
Kansas
though.
City.
I remember.
No, there
Georgia.
was. I remember watching a miserable Big 12 championship. I think it was Texas versus Kansas State in Kansas City, 20 degrees. It was miserable. They should play the Big 10 championship at Soldier Field. Little outdoor elements would be fun.
Let's bring Big Evan for his Panera lock of the week.
Regardless of what happens earlier in the day, just the fact that Ohio State's on the outside looking in, they're going to win this game by 50 points.
our little urban?
He's definitely going to plead this case. If Georgia
what
wins,
we did was exactly what.
for sure. If Georgia wins, we're fucked.
Urban might
doubt.
watch the tape of us fake pleading Urban's tape and be like, that's a good point right there. He brought up a good point about West
But this
Lafayette.
is just they're going to win by 1,000,000 points. The fact that we're number 6, they're going to destroy them because we have to do something huge if we want any chance to get in.
Mm-hmm.
That's their only chance. No matter what, we're going to win by 1,000,000 points. Easy.
Big Ev just riding high. I would too if I were you, Big Ev.
Hell yeah.
Ride that
money
Ohio
line last
State
week.
win high.
Playoffs, so he's got to enjoy this.
I'm telling you, if we blow them out and Texas, and obviously if they win, we're definitely in. But even if it's a close game, we have a shot.
No.
Just our defense is bad. Their defense is terrible.
Big Ev.
Purdue. Worst loss.
Stinks too, fat boy.
Purdue played well.
Purdue.
The defense has been inconsistent.
Purdue.
So much anger when you call them bad.
Purdue.
Yeah, it's a worse loss for sure, but we'll see it play out. If Alabama loses, it doesn't matter.
ESPN College Football put up a graphic that was very Oklahoma-centric. They deleted it. I think that it's little something in the back of the head. I'm telling you.
I like what you're doing now.
Conspiracy theory. I'm telling you.
Now I'm back on your side.
And then they put up another one that was way more even. I'm telling you,
all right.
ESPN is setting this
Now
up.
I'm back on your side. If you're saying there's a conspiracy theory, then I'm in on it.
They're setting this. We do what we need to do.
Big Ev, just hold your thoughts. I got something for us, okay?
People's top 10?
Yeah. Go to mine first.
I thought you wanted to talk about the people's top 10. You want to talk about yours?
No. Go to my top 10.
Who cares about the people?
Go to my top 10, Big Ev. Look,
Dave's so
I'm a
done
Big Ten
with
guy.
college football.
We can't be left out 2 years in a row. My rankings show that I got Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Northwestern. So if Ohio State can beat Northwestern, that will be a very big win. They have Michigan. They've also beaten Penn State and Maryland 10. So look at this. If Ohio State wins on Saturday, they've beaten 4 top 10 teams. 4 top 10 teams. You can't leave them out. You can't leave them out. It's a pretty good argument, right?
Quite the resume.
That could be Urban's top 10.
Urban, you're welcome
He's
to
going to
share
have
this.
that as on a top-rated college show we've beaten.
I'll actually tweet this at him right now. Perfect.
You want to go to Tommy's?
I have no drastic shakeup. I think Washington maybe not getting enough. My mic just fell off of me. I think Washington's
Tommy,
not.
you've been really poor today.
Washington.
You've been a non-factor.
I'm a noodle.
You're like.
So you are sick.
You're like
What?
Tony Snell when he
pre-noodle.
played 23 minutes and scored 0 points.
Okay, let's
zero
Let's just
rebounds,
move on
0
beyond him.
assists.
He's useless.
Well,
he doesn't have a
Yeah,
microphone.
go to Dave.
He doesn't have a microphone.
Dave, that picture, Michigan, that was tough.
Yeah.
This is a sidebar here.
Washington at
UCF
7?
Number 6.
Now, Dave, let me ask you a quick question. Do you do the NCAA tournament deal, the Kenyon Martin, where if a big player gets hurt, you drop him? Because UCF's quarterback is out.
Yeah, Mackenzie
no, I
Milton's
don't.
hurt.
Okay,
I
do.
can't penalize
I
for
do.
that. It's like that's not their fault, and they still could win without him.
Do
So.
you think they could get into the playoff?
No.
Well, then
It's
having
just-
him at number 6 is
Well,
ridiculous.
who else are you going to put there?
Ohio State.
I don't recognize them. I don't recognize that
Will you
program.
recognize them if they get into the college football playoff?
No. Then, first of all, I don't
He
recognize.
didn't like college football.
Yeah, I'm done with it.
Just okay, that's fair. Yeah, mine's not really much either. I noticed you completely dropped Michigan out. That's because you're mad at them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't even put
They don't
a
deserve
10th
to be in
team.
the top 10 after
I mean,
that.
it doesn't really.
I don't even like seeing them at 7. You don't even
1
have a
through
10, Kayce.
I know because I don't think there's nobody else that should be there. 1 through 6 is all that matters at this point. That's it. Like 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20. None of it matters. It's 1 through 6.
Yeah, no, the whole thing's just a dumb, stupid thing.
The college football playoff, or
Yeah. No, college football.
are you going to bet on it anymore, or are you done with that too?
I don't know.
That's tough. All right. Well, next week we're going to be at Army Navy. You're going to like that.
Well, those are men of honor and integrity that play the game for the right reason.
excited.
I don't like these power programs where kids are getting paid and 100,000 person stadiums and I don't like that.
People also forget that Dave Portnoy is probably the most famous alum, most important alum of Army. He brought them back.
That's
the rivalry.
a fact.
In the rivalry.
That's a fact.
Yes. You should probably get a Purple Heart.
I proclaim I would go to Army Navy every single year till Army beat Navy.
I'm going to take the RV and I'm going to go to the Army Navy game, which I've never been to, till Army wins.
There you go. How Prez saved Army. How Prez saved Army.
I'm going every year till Army wins this game. It's not about me. It's about those guys laying on the line. It's about me wearing this Army coat.
I went once.
The first year.
Once. Wore my coat on the sidelines. I have it.
Great day.
Yeah.
So is Army going to win next week? Because
Fuck Michigan. I'm considering myself an Army guy. I have the coat. I'm a cadet. I'm down with that.
Yeah, you
I'm
can't
back
be-
in college football.
you like
we
America.
are going to stomp out Navy.
we don't.
Love it. I grew up like 45 minutes from West Point. Love
Yeah,
it.
you went everywhere. Ohio,
I'm actually in youth football. Our like Super Bowls were played on their field. I played on their field a
you
couple
played
times.
youth football. You broke them scales.
We had a weight limit. I made it. I got fat after that.
Right, you made it.
I was always fat. I just got fatter later on.
Yeah, you didn't make those scales.
I was a
You
decent
rigged
ball
the
player
scales
back in the day. We were playing
Yeah,
Super Bowls.
because you cheated on the scales.
No.
East Lynn, Pop Warner, Manning Bowl. That's what they did.
Not Pop Warner. Those weights were like too low. They were
That's
crazy.
what I'm saying. So what are you talking about?
But youth football, it's like just not like pop under like the Pop Warner umbrella.
Yeah, no chance you're making Pop Warner some
Those
weight
were
limits.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, I still made it. It was like 170 in 8th grade. I made it. I mean, that was
Sure,
10, a lot's changed in 10 years.
Yeah.
I was like 13. I'm 24.
Yeah.
I put on a lot of weight since then.
Well, we will be at Army Navy. I don't think we know exactly where we're setting up yet.
Very
but we'll
excited.
do.
It's my favorite
Very
game I've
excited.
ever been to.
Very excited.
Very
It's,
excited.
it's so weird. It doesn't even feel like a sporting event. Yeah, it's awesome.
so awesome.
Well, we'll be there, so if you're going to be there,
Go
come out
Army,
and see us.
beat
It's in
Navy.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, Dave's an Army guy now, and thanks to Panera and Bud Light. Anything else, fellas, before?
Been a great run in this studio, gang.
Tommy, you're a makeup guy now.
Don't
though.
call us gang either.
Yeah.
And Tommy's wearing makeup all the time now.
Yeah.
Well, just for today. I don't know. I can't wear it to Army Navy next week. It's not manly enough. So this will be my last time with makeup for who knows how
Last
long.
time at Army Navy, Kevin Collins recovered a fumble. Little known fact.
That is. Will he
He
be there
also
with
got choked out by
Captain
like.
Cons. I thought you had.
Yes.
Yeah.
He also got like choked out for real by like the most scary like
He ran on the
security.
field.
Yeah, no, he did.
Yeah, he ran all
And
the way
then
on the
a
field.
security guard who was the calmest I've ever seen grabbed him by like his Adam's apple,
Yeah.
and basically was like very calmly but very fiercely like, if you ever do that again, I'm gonna snap your throat. He's like, okay, sorry, sir.
Well, hopefully that's
I mean,
next week.
I witnessed all of that happen. Literally all of that happen.
Well, you think he'll try to do something like that again
Yeah,
next
of
week?
course.
Oh, yeah.
And then he'll be like,
something to
yeah,
look forward
I
to.
was the quarterback in 2004.
Right. Yeah. It's okay, sir. I can go on the field.
We'll see you guys in Pittsburgh next week. Thanks again to Panera and Bud Light.
Philly.
Oh, Philadelphia. Did I say Pittsburgh?
You did, but it's okay.
I'm in Philly. That's my bad. We'll see you guys in Philadelphia next week.